Good morning, social media, Facebook, YouTube, New Destiny family, all of that. Get ready. We are excited about this Monday, every third Monday, every first Monday of the month. We go live with Coffee Conversation with my hubby and myself, where we talk about life, love, marriage, all of that great stuff as we rock out together. So join us. Here we go. Make sure you like, you share, all of that great stuff. Here we go. Let's grow.
We're learning life, embracing love, managing marriage, maneuvering in ministry, and managing money. Welcome to the Let's Talk About It podcast.
Bishop, don't judge me. I'm gonna get it one day. I just haven't had time.
Yeah.
I know. So good morning. Good morning.
Good
We're
morning,
gonna be
everybody.
huh?
I said good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So, husband, I'm gonna get you to start off. I don't have, I delete Facebook off my phone at night. So
So good morning, everybody. This is Bishop Clyde E. Harden Jr. and
you
Tonya.
you dirty. You
Tonya
so petty.
Harden. If you don't know us, we are the founding pastors of New Destiny Church in Cold Spring, Texas. We have this podcast here for you. To meet us. Good morning, Miss Shine. I love that young lady, man. Seriously. Yeah, but this is for us to come to you, connect with you. We enjoy this. Listen, I'm lying. I'm lying. We do this for us, and we just invite you to the party. Why? Because it gives us a chance to talk therapeutically in front of you. I believe that Christianity is not about so much us changing people; it's about us changing ourselves in front of people, so that people can watch our footsteps. Bible says, "Beautiful are the feet of those who save souls." That means something you did to advance yourself, to grow yourself. It helps someone else. So really and truly, we use this platform for us to kind of regurgitate, some changes, reminisce on some things, talk about some current issues. What we talk about, baby, life, love, marriage, money, and all the other
Ministry.
topics,
Yes.
ministry. So I want you to do me a favor as we're preparing a great conversation. Guess what, y'all? We're in a month of February, second month of 2025. We're rolling already. And everybody know what this month is. If you know what this month is, the special day in this month, I want you to type it down. What is that special day in this month? And if you can, well, not just my birthday this month too.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Can y'all shout? Wait, for those that are online, I want you to first say good morning, like, share, all of that great stuff. But I want you to just shout out to Bishop Happy birthday. His birthday is this week
yes, it
on
is.
Wednesday.
I will
My
be
honey.
45 years old. Man, it's knocking on 50. But I don't look it. But listen, it's a special month this month. And so as we're preparing for my birthday, but what else is special this month? And we're gonna talk about that this morning. Looking forward to it. So like, subscribe, share. I don't get a chance to say that much, only when I come on here.
Right.
Like, subscribe, share. Listen, I want to grow this community. And I want to grow it to the point to where people are able to listen, they're able to learn, and then they're able to share as well. It's about also regurgitating what you learn from us. So let us know you're here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. But we got a special topic today. Special topic today. Thank you, Miss Shine. And the special topic is tailored around that special day. I haven't seen anybody put it in the screen yet, but I'm assuming you know what I'm talking about. It's
Right.
Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day.
Right.
Um, and to be honest with you, it's a whole other topic. I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's Day.
Uh,
I'm not a huge fan of
you're
Valentine's
not
Day.
a huge fan of no holiday.
I'm really not. People
You're
don't know
really
that
not.
about me. A little known fact about Bishop, I hate somebody to tell me when to be a better me. I hate it. But I got three daughters and a wife, so I better get used to it. And so I've been celebrating it for a while. So you almost ready, babe?
Uh-uh. But
Oh my
you can go
Lord.
ahead. No, you can go ahead. Like, I can multitask. I know how to multitask. Somebody said me either. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Look, I want to do a shout out. Shine is doing some. Bishop is not on social media, so he doesn't know this. So I'm a shout out to Shine.
Well,
Y'all
she
go.
she missed us an email. She sent us an email, and we're part of that.
Okay. Yeah, but oh, that's right. You're right. She is doing something for lovers and marriages, and you're able to be a part of that. I don't know if it's still going on, but check out her page. Rock out with her. I don't know if she have a link or whatever, but rock out with her for that. But Go ahead, husband.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think someone is going to get a chance to win an opportunity to come on here with us
Right.
on our podcast. So I can't wait to see who that lucky person is. So yeah, as my wife is looking down on her phone and not looking me in my sexy eyes, uh,
I can't.
we're gonna move forward. But no, seriously, this is the month of February. Me and my wife is talking. We never. I want you to know something about this is that we never just come up with these topics like weeks in advance. We don't have this archive of topics.
Right.
We like the coffee conversation to be very. Yes, ma'am. It I
I
did.
did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I did. Thank you. Okay, then perfect. But we want these topics to be um, organic, fresh, authentic. That's what I'm looking for. We want these conversations to be authentic. So today we're going to be dealing with a topic of how to build. Watch this, a sustainable. What we call it, sustainable, or what's it called? How to build a long lasting marriage,
Yeah.
a lifelong marriage. How do you build a
Lifelong.
lifelong marriage? How do you build a lifelong marriage? So we're going to deal with today. Many people are getting married. We're getting back to that season. I think we went through a season. A lot of people just marriage wasn't popular for a lot of the generations. I won't call out any generations. I found out when you call out generations, they get in their feelings. So I won't call out any specific generation. I will just say it wasn't marriage wasn't popular. You
Right.
know, and I could tell marriage wasn't popular because marriage was popular when we were young. When we got married, it was very popular, and it has certain marriage songs, right? So now marriage is getting popular again.
So
They
now
don't
they got
have good.
one.
They don't have good marriage songs. They got to go back and use ours. So you still got people talking about "Meet me at the altar
Altar
in
in
your
your
white
white
dress,"
dress. Hey, yo,
or "Let's get married." So we we
really?
so people are going back there because good morning, Miss Legacy. People go back there and people don't know why I call her Miss Legacy because that's my name for her. Get used to it. Anyways, so marriage wasn't popular, but one thing I noticed about marriage back then, those marriages was almost lifelong marriages. Sometimes unhealthy lifelong marriages because they lived through some toxic situations.
Toxic. I was finna say that, toxic marriages. I believe that happen a lot because I think you don't know no better and you don't have nobody to kind of give you direction. I know for us, our marriage, baby, was toxic.
Oh,
I'm so
Jesus.
glad we didn't live close to our parents
Yeah, I'm glad
because
we didn't have kids in the first part of that piece, man.
yes,
Yeah, we would have literally scarred some people.
right.
And that's the thing. So I think a lot of those marriages back then, we got together. We actually loved each other.
Hmm.
We got together for so many different reasons. We should have really invited some people on here and talk about that. Maybe we'll bring some guests on before the end of the month. I don't know. Who cares? We're gonna think about that. But anyway, I'm trying to get to the topic. But I mean, who cares? I mean, but like, it's too late. We
You
can't do it
did.
because
That's
next
what
month is
you
next
meant.
month. Okay, but anyway, so no, back in the years with the marriage was big and popular. Then there was a season people didn't get married; they cohabitated.
Right.
They weighed their options. And it one thing I told my daughter, she's got married. Everybody give my daughter some celebration.
Can y'all heart it up for my baby? My
The
baby's married.
I
Ugh.
told her the longer you wait to get married, the less likely you will get married. The longer you wait to get married, the less likely you get married because you go from that season of "I love you" to that season of "ooh,"
You
to that
make me
season
sick.
of "yeah," to that season of "I don't like you." You should have got
Right.
married before we got to that season. "I don't like you,"
Right.
because
Right.
when you get married, you're like, "Okay, I don't like you," and now, but I gotta deal with you because I'm married with you, and we gotta figure this thing out. What
Right.
happens? People date too long. Type that in the screen.
Oh, type that. People date too long. I love it, husband.
People date too long. I mean, once you start dating and you hang out there so long, what you really just starting to do is starting to see the parts about each other you don't like. You moved in and all those things. So we're gonna talk about today, how do you avoid getting divorces? I mean, wife, we have some things we're gonna share and but we want to build lifelong marriages. And when you build lifelong marriages, there's some things you do. And I had to sit back and I think, and listen, I don't know her topics. I don't. She don't know my topics. We came with the topic as we was getting dressed and getting ready for this live, and
Right.
we said we're going to talk about building lifelong marriages. And I said, well, I got my three topics on how to build a long marriage. You got yours? She said, yeah, I got mine. So how many of y'all are ready to hear these topics? How to build a lifelong marriage?
I dare you to type in the screen. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
Before we even deep dive in this, I'm ready.
You share, then type in I'm ready. Share, then I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
People date too long. I know that's right.
People date too long, and
What's the
it wears
longest you
off.
should date? Oh, I like the question.
You know, I would say this here. I believe it's all about how the engagement of dating is happening. That. But I watched my daughter, and I learned a lot from their dating. And I say the way they was engaged, they was going out, they was spending time together, they was doing a whole lot of stuff together. I say 2 years. 2 years is like okay. You kind of running beyond that because your first year they fell in love with each other and they learned each other. That second year, they was actually, hey, Miss Shannon, that second year, they was actually starting to get frustrated with one another. And then into that, toward that third year, they were starting to realize things they didn't like about each other. And right around that time, they was planning the marriage. And so that's just serious, man, because those things you don't like can start pushing you away from them things you do like. And you're supposed to deal with that in a marriage. I don't like my
Right.
wife. Who thought I do not like that girl? I
I
love
don't like
her.
you either.
I know, but we love each other.
Yes.
We find out we're totally different.
I'm
We
gonna say this. I don't like
100%.
you sometimes. Sometimes I like you. Sometimes I don't. It just
Yeah,
depends on
you
what
my best friend.
day
You
it
my
is.
best friend.
Yeah, it's one of those like I don't like you some days.
Yep.
Yesterday was a day. No, not yesterday. I think it was Friday. Friday, I didn't like you. You were not my friend on Friday. We broke up as friends.
Oh well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Tell me what happened Friday. Was Friday we
Yeah,
was
you
flying?
made me mad.
We was
I don't
flying
remember what
Friday.
it was. I don't know, but I was hot.
Yep. We still look sexy when we was hot. I don't care.
Oh
But
God.
anyways, so listen. Let's talk about this, baby. So we have some people on. Let's talk about you know how do you build a lifelong marriage. So how do you want to start this? You want to start? I got my three things.
I want to start. I want to start. So put the number. So we're gonna share three together, three different ones.
Going with one, me
They
one, you
laughing at
two,
us.
me two.
I bet they say y'all are nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really are. She said I love y'all. We're a mess. But y'all, this is look, I want to say this for those that may not know, my husband and I have been together. We're high school sweethearts. We've been together now 30 plus, I think, years, like since 90 something. As well as my husband for this year, December would be 25 years of marriage. And so we know the ups and downs. That's why shout out, shameless plug, join this weekend. I'm so excited. Can I pause? This weekend, I am doing a I Am Wife material. It is so many women. I don't even know half of y'all, but I am so
Wow.
excited. I can't wait to meet y'all in person. And this is an in-person thing, not virtually. I want to because we're gonna be doing some stuff. It is not like your normal. It's not churchy. Please don't come thinking that it is. Baby, we gonna get vulnerable and we gonna talk and we gonna chop it up. So I am excited. Thank y'all for trusting me enough to be a part of this. Women of Destiny is presenting this. So if you do not, I'll make sure somebody share the link or the link somewhere. Go and register. When you register for this event, number one, it lets us know how many miles we feeding, okay? Because you're gonna get some complimentary breakfast. I probably said that wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
You said it perfect.
And of course I'm going to be doing some giveaways, my new book and different things like that. So come and be a part of that. I can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you for signing up. But my husband and I've been together this long, right? And I realized, man, I need to start talking about this because there is a such thing as healthy marriage. Somebody type healthy marriage. There's a
Mhm.
such thing as healthy marriage. There's a way to get to that. And there's a such thing as building something together. So I want to talk about the first foundation of this 25-year union of my husband, 24 and a half. Okay, I'm trying to keep them numbers right. 24 and a half of union is that we had to make Christ the center of our marriage. I remember getting it, write that down. Number one, the center of our marriage. We had to make Christ the center. I know there's a delay. I see y'all. Yes, healthy marriage. We had to make Christ the center of our marriage. Number one, that's my first thing that I want to talk about is the center of our marriage because there was a time Christ was not the center
No, no,
of our
not at all.
marriage. We were just going on the journey of from high school to marriage. And so this is what I learned is that in order for a marriage I was trying to put the title in, in order for the marriage to be built on a marriage that lasts, you got to have the foundation of
And,
God.
and I give you even to the point to say that I remember when, like you said, it wasn't always Christ wasn't always the center of our marriage. I remember when we were. I made you the
Mhm.
center of the marriage, and you made me the center of the marriage. And it wasn't working. It listen. We literally I'll never forget when we was man. We got together. We were so in love, and we started trying to please get each other. Well, I wouldn't even say you was the center. I was the center of my marriage, and you was the center of your marriage because I feel like that I was trying to get you to please me, and then you were trying to get me to please you, and
Right.
we had this big old collision, and we were fighting to make me get take care of me, and you were fighting to take care of me, and it wasn't until one day when our marriage almost just blew completely up. We said, man, we both said we got to go back to what we know.
Okay, can we get real? It wasn't until we started putting holes in the wall. Come here, somebody. It
Yeah.
wasn't until now we never hit each other. I think I hit you once, but we never
You didn't hear
really.
me. You pushed me.
I pushed you. Okay, I
Mm.
thought it was okay, but yeah, but even in that, it took me back to the corner. Remember that time we but I left. I took the baby and I ran to pray. Anyway, but I did some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tonya, come back, come back. So anyway, what we realized was that I done lost my train of thought. I done got way in the
You talking
conversation.
about you talking about the center? How we Christ was the center.
Okay, Christ was this. I don't know what I was going to say. Go ahead. It'll
So I
come
just
back
say
to me.
I just say that. So I
I
remember that
forgot.
when like I say you were trying to we were fighting so much, and we were fighting it was for us. We was fighting, I was fighting to get what I wanted, and she was fighting to get what she wanted. And one day, man, it got really bad. It got really bad. The marriage really exploded. We had a really bad argument. We was living in Mississippi, and we both said, we got to go back to what we know. We both knew Christ was the answer. We knew church was what we had to get to do, and so we actually started going to church, and really to heal our marriage. It really wasn't to heal us.
Yeah.
And then we started getting new standards, so we was no longer trying to go ahead. Remember that?
Yes, because I wanted to say this is that we were so busy. I was so, and this is to my every woman that is listening to me. I was so busy building him and trying to make him what I needed him to be, and trying to, and not really focusing on making God the foundation of our marriage or making God the center of it. But I wanted him to be the man that I want you to be versus the man that God made you to be. And
Yeah.
with God not being the center of our marriage, I was so busy trying to, and that's where a lot of my fights with you came, was that where you're not doing this and you're not acting like this and you're not being like this, and not realizing that those fights, and this is to every woman, because I found myself becoming evolved with everything that my husband was doing, that I did not have a chance or the opportunity to identify who I was as a wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, come
That's deep.
here.
That's
I
deep.
wasn't able to identify, because this is what we do as women. We get so focused in the man and the person, and he's my everything, and we put them on a pedestal and don't realize the way we put them on a pedestal is that we are constantly getting to a point of, what do you call it? We are constantly trying to build them into who they supposed to be, to where we lose our identity. Now we're trying to take care of the kids. We're trying to take care, and we don't know who we are. I am wife material. We don't know who we are as women. And I know
And
that
listen,
for me was such a battle. And my arguments was that with you, because God wasn't the foundation.
and you think about that. Hey, sweetheart, how you doing? When you
Yeah.
think about that, you're actually creating a couple of arguments along the way. Because number
Hmm.
one, you thinking you're perfect. To be
Hmm.
honest with you, you think I got it together. I got to fix him. That's the first argument. You know what I'm saying? And then the second argument is the fixing. You trying to change him, and he don't want to be changed, or her, vice versa. And then years later,
Hmm.
after you have evolved this man into what you think is right, now you mad at him because you've given your whole life to changing him, and you didn't develop yourself.
Preach, sir.
And so now you're angry and bitter because I made you who you are, and I gave you this, and I gave you that, and I built you. and I done left me. I done forgot about me, and now you're trying to force him now to reciprocate. You build a whole culture of you being great and you changing him, and now you want him to turn around and now you ask him to build you up, and so that's dangerous. So when you don't make Christ the center, and what happens? How do you make Christ the center? Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
What's up, old man? But I listen. Whenever you don't make Christ the center, well, how do you make Christ the center? Because we got to talk about that before we go to the second point. Because we do got to get the second point. Because I got one. But how do you
Yeah.
make Christ the center? We have to start asking God. God, what do you want for us? I never forget we
Yeah.
got into an argument. Me and my wife got in an argument. We moved back to Houston by this time, and my wife she would get so angry to where she wouldn't listen to me. And no matter what I said, if she was frustrated,
I
it
have
was
that shut down anointing.
she had that Tulu anointing.
You know what?
and,
I can't stand you.
and so no matter if I was right, no matter I was
I have that
wrong,
stubborn anointing.
if you got that stubborn anointing, I want you to put in number two. That's me. Put in number.
I'm
Just say that's
stubborn.
me.
Oh,
Just say
yeah.
that. Just put that. Put it. Say type in that's me. That's me. That's me. She was stubborn, and so I'm like, I got to the point. I knew in some areas maybe I was wrong, maybe it was all right. I didn't know. So I never forget. I got into arguing one day. And I said, forget this. I went in the room. We got this small apartment. You literally go from the living room to the kitchen to the bedroom. That was it. And so we got to the bedroom, and I shut the door, and I got on my knees, and I said, God, I'll never forget this prayer. Came out my pattern prayer. God, if I'm the problem, Lord, show me. Watch this. I didn't go in there saying fix my wife. I didn't go in there saying change my wife. I didn't say that's when
Oh,
you
I
don't have
feel my
Christ.
stubbornness coming up. Oh, let me stop.
Whenever you is have you focus or you go in there and you pray God to fix your spouse. But when you get Christ focus, yeah, I say, God, if I'm wrong, show me. Please, God, show me if I'm wrong. But God, if my wife is wrong, show her. My wife don't ever come in the room and say I'm sorry. She came to the room that day and she didn't hear me pray. I prayed silently. And she opened the door and she said, baby, I'm wrong. I could have jumped out the window.
First of all, that is not. I'm not the one that like to apologize. So, but yeah, I knew that had to be the Lord.
Look at him stubborn. He's all them stubborn folks. Come on now.
I see him. But this other folk is putting the number two. It is funny.
But I tell you
Oh,
what, even
I'm
though
not
she
by
was stubborn,
myself.
she had to be stubborn because I was controlling. And
Sometimes
most
I'm
stubborn
too.
marry controlling. And so you got to be stubborn to tell that controlling person you can't change. I'm very stubborn. So I got to kill. Can I go to my one now? So number one,
Yes.
you got to put Christ center. So all my three is focused on the same thing. It's all one, but it's three different ones. So pick your fight. Pick your fight. The way you build a marriage that's going to be long lasting, you got to pick your fight. And my number one is you got to pick the fight of your non-negotiables. You got to pick the
Oh,
fight
put
of your
that in the
non-negotiables.
screen. Pick your fight of the non-negotiables.
I think we fight too much about things that's not that important, and you want to fighting about stuff that you waste your time fighting about this small stuff. But when you got to the big stuff, it's like now you just fight all the time. If you're gonna
Mm.
build a marriage that's gonna last, you need to figure out, during the dating stages, you need to figure out during the first years of marriage, what are my non-negotiables?
I
You
love
know,
that.
don't disrespect me. This is one of me and my wife had, don't disrespect me in front of folks.
Right.
Don't talk down on me. Don't cuss me out. The red words.
Yeah. Red. Oh, type my thing was red words. Don't call me out my name. Don't call me what you won't call your mama. Don't don't if we don't talk or we don't communicate, for 24 hours, you're dead. Yeah, definitely that, because we communicate. As well as don't like respect me enough not to show up, all it. I know everybody got this new thing, DMs and all that, like that don't do that. Like, no, but don't use red words. My key thing is red words. I don't want to be called out my name, and do not cuss towards me or cuss at
Or
me,
around me. Yeah.
which build a atmosphere of just don't cuss. Just don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that with me. I can't stand it. Um the shut up. Don't tell me to shut up,
No.
because I'm not. No, we're not doing that. Um don't don't do those things. But my non-negotiable was, I want to. The worst thing that you can ever do is not know what is going on with your spouse and you're in the blind. Not that you got to know everything, But there's some things that I wanted to know as a wife. And so, and when I say that, somebody say not dead. Yes, dead. I meant that. Yes. If you ain't talked to your spouse in 24 hours, that's a problem.
Yeah.
There's no communication. Y'all are living to me, I'm living as a roommate with you. If we haven't talked in 24 hours, we should be texting saying something, hey, sugar, you all right? Hey, I'm on my way, such and such, or whatever. So you got to build, I love the non-negotiables. You got to build that from the foundation.
Yeah.
The foundation of the marriage. And if that is not built, you got to create that space. You have to have a conversation. We need a meeting. Let's sit down and let's have a conversation. We not finna be, we non-negotiable for me. Here we go, ladies. Y'all ready? Call it what you wanna. Come here. Call it what you wanna, but I'm about to say it. If you got a homegirl that's your friend, she mine too, sugar. If I got a homeboy that's my friend, he your friend too. We all friends up in this thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as side conversations that we don't know about. That's a non-negotiable. My husband will not be able to build a friendship that we don't build first. Again, you can call it what you want to. But it is learning that my husband do have homegirls as friends. The crazy thing is I don't have no homeboys as friends because I just know he couldn't handle it. Tell me, can you handle it?
No, I won't
no,
handle it.
He can't handle it. But I can. And so, but his friend is my friend.
Yeah.
And there's a respect with his friends versus my friend. One major
You got
friend I
one.
always
You got one. That's it. We got one.
I know,
Charlotte's the only friend we got. That's it.
But Charlotte's like a sister. She's like my sister. She's like his sister, no matter what. There's no such thing as sliding in a DM. My husband don't have social media, so that's not a problem. But there's no such thing as sliding in a DM. I think that's what they do. No. There's respect. That's a non-negotiable.
That sounds so sexual. That
Don't
sounds
it?
so sexual. I think they mean that too. Yeah.
That's a new thing though, husband. You don't know about that, but people be sliding in folks' DM. They be sliding in mine. Let me tell you, when somebody slide up in my DM, the husband, look.
Don't make me grab my piece over in the corner.
Baby, I be like, hey, check this out. Let me show you. There's no such thing. And then when you slide in my DM, you're going to respect let me tell you how much you should love your marriage enough to respect your marriage enough to let them know if you come in my DM, not only are you disrespecting me, but you're disrespecting my covenant with my husband. Amen. And can't nobody disrespect my husband. Yep. AKA same thing with him. You understand me?
I'm going to add this little piece in there so that whenever what we're talking about, if we go back to day one, my wife said, make Christ center. And I was talking about how you don't make yourself the center. So what happened is when you argue about too much, if you trying to change this man or try to change this woman and you're arguing about the way you snore, you argue about the way you keep your clothes, you argue about how you eat, you argue about not keeping you arguing about all this little petty crap because you're trying to build this perfect figure of who you think a man is. Your argument should never be about changing the person. It should be setting your boundaries. It should be setting your boundaries.
So good, husband.
And so now, I'm not trying to change you. I'm just telling you how to treat me.
That's it. I am teaching or showing you how to treat me because every level is different. We've been together 25 years. We didn't change over the years. Yes. So we have to teach each other how to treat each other in the year that we're changing. So it never stops.
That's it. So that's point two. Number one, make Christ the center. Number two, pick your fight. And the first fight you're picking is the non-negotiables. I'm not going to fight about everything. I'm going to fight about the non-negotiables.
All right.
So what's your number two?
My number two is, and I'm going to kind of talk about this weekend for my marriage people.
And for those who just joining on, we're talking about how to build a lifelong marriage. So yeah, number one, put Christ center. Number two, pick your fight. And the first fight is, baby, I'm going to say something about that snoring. Cause girl, go to bed. I snore like a beast. But we're trying to build a lifelong marriage. And number one, we say make Christ center. Number two, pick your arguments. And the first argument is fight about the non-negotiables. Fight about your boundaries. But now, sweetheart, what's your number two? My
number two is covenant over contract.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
So number three, put in the covenant over contract. And what do I mean by that when I say covenant over contract? I feel like this when it comes to marriage. And again, I may share some of this again this Saturday. is that what I feel like this in marriage is that we always say, especially for these Christian folks, I love y'all though, but I'm about to say something. You might not like me and you might want to block me. That's okay. I'm fine with that. But I will say this is what I found out within the Christian arena is that we have this thing that I can get over, like we can grow if I'm sick, right? I'm believing God for my healing, right? Or we say, Lord, I'm believing God for my children. And we want God, even if our kids make the biggest mistake ever, we're believing God for our children. We're believing God for our finances, but we can't believe God for our marriage.
You're right.
We can't believe God for our marriage. And here's the thing. I understand 1 Corinthians 7 that there are sometimes you do have to have a divorce because he's cheating, because of, I wouldn't say loud disrespect, because some things that you can create an atmosphere for to where you teach them how to respect you, and you build again boundaries, things that are non-negotiable, and having those conversations, are going to a counselor to have a mediator that's in the middle. But when it comes to marriage, in this world, we find so many people having a divorce and they don't believe God for their marriage, but you believe God. He not doing right. He not working hard enough, or he not doing whatever. At the end of the day, if he ain't cheated and he have not went upside your head, why you leaving?
But I'm going to say this because I can honestly say on this call, and we said it before, and I mean it. I can't guarantee you that my wife has one action that she could do that would cause me to leave her. If my wife cheat on me, I can't guarantee I'm going to leave her. If I find out that she's been, living a double life, I can't guarantee I'm going to leave her because I believe in my marriage that much to where I'm going to have to do some soul searching and ask myself, what did
What
I
did
do?
I do? Yeah, that's me. If you cheat on me, and we've been in a marriage 25 years, I think one time it wasn't a sexual cheating, and we shared this in our book. It was a emotional cheating, and to me, that's
Emotional.
worse.
I, I,
That
I built a extramarital relationship with a coworker,
I know
and I was
somebody saying, "What?" Read
yeah.
our book.
Yeah, it was back in probably how old is Kiana? Kiana is 22, so she was born in it's like around 2004, 2005, maybe
Mhm.
2008 or whatever. I can't remember that. But I built an extramarital relationship with a coworker, and I fell in love with our conversation.
Come
Every
on.
day I would converse with her. I would go by her office and spend time with her. And I thought I was doing it in the name of Jesus. I'm going to minister and da 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 da. And it became so I was unaware of the violation at first, but it started feeling uncomfortable. My wife, she called it out,
What?
non-negotiable. She called it out, and she said, "Hold up," because we were so blatant. We would even bring it to her. It's how cheating happens. It evolves,
Baby, she was so
grows.
sweet to me. Oh my God. Listen to me, every woman under the sound of my voice. Baby, trust your instincts. Trust God has given a woman something that he has not given a man, and that is a spiritual wound to be able to sense and smell and know that something is wrong, something is off. And I knew that something wasn't right. And this chick kept smiling in my face. And I kept thinking to myself, why do you feel so fake right now? And I showed up. Come here, Brittany, cousin. I showed up to the job one day, popped up. I did a pop up with the kids in strollers. You understand? See, I'm a Christian that's a little bit low key hood. So I showed up to the job with the children with me and stood at the table where they were talking at. You understand me? Because I knew something was off, and I made sure that my presence was known, and I let him know this is highly disrespectful.
Yeah,
And what you're
and I didn't
building
get it.
with her is emotional, and I can't fight against emotional
No.
connection.
And she
But
texted
I
me one
had
day.
to take a look at myself. Come here, every woman. I had to take a look at myself and figure out what was I doing wrong, because it wasn't all on him. What did I do to push my husband to want to have communication with another woman versus me?
Yeah, I started impregnating her with my dreams. I started impregnating her with my conversation. My wife, she called it. This is how she called it, right? For everyone, some women like to play in your face.
Woo.
This is how she called it because she said one day to me. She says she walked outside. I'll never forget it. She was in the hallway of our other small apartment, and when she walked in the hallway, she just looked at me with this glare. She said, "Are you cheating on me?" I said, "What?" I got offended because I know I hadn't had sex with nobody, and I've never, all of our 24 years of marriage, I've never had sex with anyone but her. I got mad. No. And then she came back with something I couldn't fight with. She says, because you're talking to somebody because you ain't talking to me. And when she said that,
Every woman, I'm gonna need you to hold it up right there. Because if they're not talking to you, that's why I say 24 hours, you ain't talking to me, you dead, sir. Because if they're not talking to you, who are you talking to?
and I violated my marriage because I was giving my dreams to another woman.
Woo! Okay, wait, pause, husband, because that's so good. When a man or a woman give their dreams to another person, you impregnate them with the topic that I'm gonna talk about last. And that thing you impregnate them with is your purpose and your vision.
Yeah.
You impregnate them with it. So when I talk about go ahead, I'm sorry, husband, because
No.
I
And that's why women really want to be with you because y'all done made a baby together that wasn't natural. It was a supernatural baby. And now they're wondering why you leaving her, going back to your wife, and we got a baby. I'm about to birth. I called your dreams. And so
Woo!
I had to hurry up. I had to literally physically go in and abort that whole thing. And I had to go in and tell her, you know what? I had to literally acknowledge it. I couldn't walk around it. I couldn't tiptoe around it. I said, I apologize. I made a mistake. And I don't know which one we own, but it was so important that I made that announcement that I made this mistake. And I went back and started recovering because there's what we said, there's covenant over contract. She could have broke the contract,
I'm
but
telling
she
you,
understood the covenant, our
covenant.
covenant. And part of covenant is through sickness and health. In that sense, I was sick in the thought process of this was right. And she now if I would have ignored it and continued and violated her and disrespect her and say, woman, you're gonna deal with this. Now it's time to walk on. But she saw opportunity. She sees it. It grew
Yeah.
me. We got better. And that's when the other woman starts to feel entitled. Yep.
Oh, baby, they will start that particular person. They felt very like now. Remind you that was years ago. We love her. There's nothing like at the end of the day can hug and kiss on, love her,
It
all that.
wasn't it was our fault. It was
It was
B and
our
her fault. It was all three
exactly.
of our fault. All three of our faults.
No, it wasn't my fault. Well, yes, it was. Because I did.
So
I found out for me, I was nagging so much, and I was really becoming petty Betty, and he could not communicate with me because I wasn't a good listener. I was a great talker, but I wasn't a good
now
listener.
notice I wasn't allowed to tell her that. I didn't go there and say the reason why I'm talking because you pushed me to her. No, I didn't say
Oh
that.
no.
She said it, and I said, "Oh, that is a good idea."
Yeah.
but
It is what you do. I
but no,
want to
I
say
wouldn't
this
know.
though, but I commend you because as she said, this statement right here, I love this. And that's when the other woman starts to feel entitled. When I tell you I would get around this person and they felt entitled, it was like they knew stuff I didn't know. And I
Mhm.
knew that they knew stuff that I didn't know. And that was the entitlement. But as soon as he broke, because I was like, God, if this happens, because for me, I don't know. I didn't know if I would stay, if it went any farther. I didn't know, but I said, Lord, I went into my prayer closet and I started praying before the Lord. Lord, I need you to reveal to him that this is out of your will. This
Yeah.
is out of order. This is a spirit of Jezebel that is trying to connect with my husband because I know the greatness that's in. See, let me tell you something, every woman. You better start standing up, especially if you marry and you see stuff that's off with your marriage. You better go into your prayer closet and start petitioning things in prayer and letting God know, I'm going to need you to deal with this. I'm not going to say nothing else. And I stopped talking and
Yeah.
I let God deal with him. But it was when he broke that particular thing, we were able to keep the covenant.
Now
There
watch
is
this.
power in covenant. Go ahead.
I gotta say this real quick, just for that woman who think, well, he keep doing this or whatever. I'm gonna tell you something. Two things going on. It is a what's the word I want to use? It's a spiritual thing that's attached to him that attracts people.
Mm.
And I didn't realize it. Now, listen, I don't want to say this here like you think I kept messing up, but this happened three different times. To another person would come around me, and for it, I'm the same person.
Baby,
I
that
just
person, they followed him all the way to his job.
yeah,
Jesus.
but I don't want to get caught up in the people. I want
I
to say
know, but
the
I just
action.
had a moment. I want to let them know how serious. Like
Yeah, it
it
was
was
serious.
a war. It was
It was.
spiritual war for me. It was a
It
lot.
was. And then, so the thing is, it kept happening. And to my wife, what I started doing to my wife, baby, I think this is happening again. While I'm being nice, and I realized I had a problem. I entertained things I
I'll
shouldn't
be
have
ready to
entertained.
swing.
Big product I
Oh,
could
go to God. I'll be ready to swing.
ready
No,
to
no, no.
swing. But
No, no,
I
no. We
entertained
gonna have
things, and she had to walk me through. We had to talk through it, and it built our relationship. So now, has it stopped? No, people still try, but now I'm aware of it. And I call it out real fast. I tell my wife, baby, I saw this, and so we built relationships and realized that there's a certain spirit that is attached to your husband. Come on now, there's certain spirits attached to your wife,
Come on here.
and sometimes you gotta deal with that thing, train and talk and communicate, so y'all become aware of it, so y'all can fight through it together. And
Right.
so that I had to come to awareness. This keep happening, especially as a pastor. Oh my Lord, people will come to you, and in this whole time they attracted to you, and what happened, this is a whole this topic, but I would tell you, I've never slept with any of the church members at my church. I'm gonna get that straight right now. I've never have
Because
flirted with
I'm
one
not that
person in the
pastor's
church.
wife. I just want to let
Watch,
that be known.
we dealt with that before I got in the pulpit and before I started pastoring. So now by the time I started pastoring, I was able to recognize it when it came,
That part.
and I was able to deal with it when it came. But it don't stop it. So let me tell you something. My wife, she has some things that we both have worked together and grow some things together, make it to where we can make it through things together.
Yeah.
Marriage is about fighting. We gotta get to my number two.
Wait, I want to say this about covenant, because the power of covenant is that, and you got to remember this, is that the enemy wants to break covenant. Any covenant, if you go back in the Bible, and I'm gonna talk more about this on Saturday, but the enemy wants covenants to be broken. The Lord said in the Bible that, hey, when she become one, y'all become one flesh, bone of my bone and flesh of my
That's
flesh.
my flesh.
When you marry a man and a woman coming together, the next covenant, when Abraham had the promise, the opportunity, the covenant, there were covenants that God made with Abraham. There was covenants that God made with other people. And God said, I love marriages, which makes the enemy hate marriages. That's a covenant. And when you have a covenant and that covenant is broken, is because the enemy did everything he did. He don't try to break something that don't have a covenant. He tries to break covenants. If I can get y'all to split up and you go your opposite ways, I get you a chance to forget a contract. Because when you become one, the Bible says, not the Bible, but your vow says, in sickness and in health, and rich or for poor, and good and bad, till death do us part. That's what it says. So when you have a covenant like that you made, that is powerful. When you have a covenant, I just want to say, I'm gonna share
You know
more.
what?
Come this Saturday.
But you
I'm
gotta
gonna
add
share
this.
more.
When you share more, you make sure you add this part.
Okay.
What follows broken covenants is generational curses.
Wait, what you say?
What follows broken covenants are generational curses. And the devil wants you to break the covenant so you can walk in the curse. If you leave marriages, you walk in the generational curses of broken marriages. If you leave churches, you walk in a generational curse of church leavers. If you leave, broken jobs, you always walk in the generational curse of people who can't hang out in jobs. The covenant is the connection to long-term relationships. When you start breaking those things, now you're starting to create a culture of it, and the devil is excited about the generational curses he developed in your family, and you
Sir, you
walking
said
right
a
into it.
mouthful. Talk, sir. Whoa. Yeah, everybody's saying, wow, Bishop. That was, I'm gonna have to go back and rewind and hear that. Okay, go to your part. Wait, real quick. Somebody say some men have a personality that draws others, women, but they're abound. Yes, I think that was from earlier what you said.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, go to your
So my number two is, so pick your fight. So number one, I would say, so you got to pick. You're gonna fight in marriages. You got to pick the right fights. If you say we don't fight, we don't fight. That's a divorce waiting to happen. So number one, you fight for your non-negotiables, my boundaries. Now watch this. The second fight, you fight for your spouse's future. I'm not gonna change
Okay, that's
you.
both of our last one. Then we gonna, because mine is you fight you for personal and
I got one more.
oh, you have one more. Okay, go ahead.
So this one here is fight for your spouse's future.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna fight to change you, but I will fight to help you become a better you.
That's good,
And I
sir.
gotta say that because my wife, she's always seen the better in me, and she never let me settle for less than I am. There's a difference to trying to change a man to fit you, and then trying to change a man to become a great him. And if you see something in him, the world gonna knock him down. The world gonna beat him up. The world gonna knock her down. The world gonna beat her up. And if you don't sit there and say, "No, I believe in you," not saying that I'm trying to make you dress this way. I'm trying to make you walk this way. I'm trying to talk. No, no, no,
All right,
baby,
right.
you are an entrepreneur. Baby, you are a business owner. Baby, you
Yes.
are a pastor. Baby, you are a preacher. I see it in you. My wife saw all those things in me, and even I didn't believe in myself. She overcame the world's attack on me by seeing my future, and she said, "No, I'm gonna fight for your future. I'm gonna believe in who you are. I'm
Yeah.
gonna believe in what you become. And so if you're gonna pick your second fight, make sure you fight for your spouse's future.
Yeah.
And if they go far, guess what you're gonna do?
Go far.
That's my
Period.
second one.
Well, that mine was purpose and vision to be able to. One thing, the great thing about building a marriage that is long lasting is that when you create a purpose and a vision, it allow. And what I mean by that, when you start planning for your next, planning for, let's say you plan for the month of June.
That's my last one. It's because my last one is fight for your marriage future.
Yeah, I I think because we plan so much in the future and we plan so much together. We plan, Christmas. We've created what you call traditions.
Hmm.
And when you start creating that and you start planning for your future, it makes your connection even more powerful. And it makes you build something that's long lasting to a point to where you keep building, keep building, keep building. Even in our now, we know we are believing God for something major land, right? We want this amount of land and and because we have that in our future and we have that in a part of our vision, it makes us want to stay together to create that opportunity or to create that vision
Yeah.
together. If you don't have no vision, I don't know if the Bible said it or whoever said it. A life without vision means nothing. I said that. Like if you have no vision, write the vision down, make it plain so whoever can read it can run with it. If you have no vision when it comes to you and your spouse or your marriage, there's no way you're going to last long. If you're living day to day, moment to moment, week to week, that's not a great thing. You got to live to and my last one, because since we both on the same one, my last one is living to a point to where you're learning how to build legacy for your family. That's how you build a long lasting marriage because we're building for our grandkids. As we shared yesterday, we have an account for our grandkids, and our grandkids ain't even here. Come here, Glory. But we're building for our grandkids to be able to have something. So we're building a future together. We're building a legacy together. We're building, and that's where you find that couple that is they're moving together. And that's a lot of stretching. That's a lot of working. It takes work when you're in a marriage, but you got to be willing to work together. And so, because we work together, and I hate this saying, but it's so true, we are better together because we move and we stretch each other, we build each other. And when you're doing that, it ain't always good, it ain't always perfect. You have up days, down days. There are some days with us having business, nonprofit, church. Some day I just want to quit. I don't
Yeah.
want to be no pastor wife for some Sundays. I don't want to go to church all the time. I don't want to do business every time and all. But when the days I'm down, those are the days that he lift me up.
Yeah.
And when the days he down, those are the days I lift him up. What does that make us do? Have a long lasting marriage that builds communication, that builds a connection, that builds a covenant, that builds clarity on what I'm emotional. I ain't finna cry on this thing. But it builds that to where we're building legacy,
Yeah.
not necessarily all about wealth, but sitting down with our children, having a conversation with my daughter this Saturday, talking about her marriage, you know what I'm saying? Or having conversations with my babies yesterday. We didn't even turn on the TV for hours after church. We're just sitting there at the table, chopping it up and talking. That's building legacy. And they're talking about future stuff that we want to do in the future together as a family. You just want to build that. And when you build that, it makes the marriage long lasting because everybody is connected to the marriage.
That's so important. I think so. I think what happened now, we're in such a place in our life, and excuse me, our generations to the point to where we're so focused on living for now to where we're aborting our future. We're so busy in
Facts.
trying to, get the house, get the car, do all these things now, and to where we're not building nothing in the future. And so one thing I love about me and my wife, and we've learned this over the years, is that we're so focused on our future till we making sure our now don't jeopardize our future.
That
Everything we
part.
do. So I challenge you, man, if dream together. Um, you know, don't create this imaginary future. Create
Mm-hmm.
this real future. What do we want for ourselves? So my third fight, number one, fight for your non-negotiables. Build your boundaries. Number two, fight for your spouse's future. And number three, fight for the future of your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get out of debt, fight to get out of debt. If you want to get
Right.
healthy, fight to get healthy. If you want to
Right.
break generational curses of divorce, fight to say we're
Right.
not going to get a divorce and fight to communicate. If you want to make sure that y'all own, a lineage of different opportunities for your family, fight for that. Fight every day to make sure that y'all are achieving your future. So I think that's why we're building this lifelong marriage. It's
Well,
been
and healthy marriage, man. Being able to communicate with each other as adults, allowing you to be the man and allowing me to be the woman.
yeah,
And I think when you do that, when you let a man be a man and don't treat him like a boy in a marriage, man, that man can take you places you ain't never seen before. When
yeah,
you allow a woman to be a woman and don't treat her like a little girl or some side piece, man, she can take you places you ain't never seen before.
yeah.
And when that happens, it's over. It is. The Bible says this, and I'm gonna leave this alone because we got some T-shirts out there by Legacy, um, that you can get for the Women of Destiny for the event that we're doing this weekend. And on the shirt, it's going to say, "A man that findeth a wife find a good thing." But the craziest and amazing part of that is he obtains favor with the
Come
Lord.
on.
And what that tells me is that as a woman, you are his favor. And when you learn the value of what you bring to the table and the things that can be done and the things that can be birthed out spiritually and naturally because of what you carry.
That's it.
And when your foundation is right, oh my God, blessings will come like no other.
That's
And
it.
so we realize this, it ain't easy, but it's so worth it.
That's it.
It is hard. Daily we fight to become better.
That's it.
And sometimes that fight is not always great. And sometimes we have heated fellowship.
Do.
But it's so worth it.
I'm gonna
You're
leave them. I'm gonna leave them with this, and then you can say what if you want to say something last. But I'm gonna leave them with this. So, what's the perfect Valentine's Day gift for your marriage, for your husband or for
Aw.
your wife? It's not all. It's not gonna be all at all.
Oh, it's not gonna be all okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, what's the perfect Valentine gift for your spouse? And I'm gonna say this here in a very specific way. I want you to wrap up in a piece of paper and give it to him in an envelope, and vice versa. I want him to wrap up in a piece of paper and give it to you in an envelope. And that's so important now. I want you to wrap up in this piece of paper everything that you need, not materialistic things. What do you need from your husband? You know, from him and treating you and making you feel like you are complete, making you feel like you're respected, making you feel loved. Wrap it up in this piece of paper. And then tell him the same thing. What do you need? There's a book up there called His Needs, Her Needs. It's so important. If you ever haven't read the book, you need to read it. And tell him to wrap up in his needs into a piece of paper and give it to you. That's the greatest gift. Now listen, the goal is you can't make him give you those things. You're giving him an opportunity to fulfill those things. And
Right.
vice versa. He can't make you give those things. You give him an opportunity. But you got to remember, I gave them to you. I was so honest with you. And if you meet those things, you make me a better wife. And I will be willing to invest in you to make you a better husband. And those tools is what really helped us make it the rest of our marriage. Is making sure I understand my needs are my needs. I can't make you give them to me, but I can give them to you so you have the opportunity of fulfilling them, and vice versa. So that's my thoughts for today.
I love it. Listen, thank y'all so much for rocking out. I will share this shameless plug. Join us this Saturday at 9 a.m. Let me take this off. The branding part. Join us this Saturday at 9 a.m. I don't never know how to do this, so don't judge us. At 9 a.m. at the I Am Wife
I am
material
wife material.
at New Destiny Church, where we're going to be talking about for me. This is for marriage, single. Those of you that want to be married, because everybody, some people just happy single. They single and satisfied. This is for that person that says that I want to be married. This is for that person that is married. Come join us again. I'm excited about all of you that have already registered to be a part of this. Register so that we can have a head count for food, as well as you get an opportunity to win a gift or something to that nature, to win a takeaway for this event. I cannot wait to see you this Saturday. I think it said, Lord, what time is it? 10 a.m. Doors open at 9:30. Come. It's nothing like church, so please don't come church. There's t-shirts. If you want to purchase a t-shirt, please help us do that to give back to the Women of Destiny for doing this event. We definitely would love for you to grab that shirt and be a part of it. I think it's blue and gold. It's on the New Destiny page. Check it out. But oh no, I'm gonna share this right here. Come here. Go ahead. I'm gonna drop the link so that you can be able to sign up for that. It's right there in the chat, so you can check it out. Be a part of that. Rock out with us. RSVP. Be a part of that this Saturday as we talk about I Am Wife material and what that looks like. Come ready to be vulnerable, to talk, to chop it up, and get feedback, all of that great stuff. So I can't wait to rock out with you. Thank you to everybody that joined. Thank you for everybody that watches the replay. Make sure you like, you share, all of that great stuff. And remember, building a marriage that is long lasting is way better than living from day to day in your
Yeah.
marriage.
That's it. That's it. Love you. God bless you. And for those who didn't know, this Sunday, don't miss Sunday at New Destiny. We got a special treat this Sunday at New Destiny. I
Yes.
would love for you to come into place. Yeah, you can join online. Yeah, for those who want to join online, but I want you to come into place and be there with us. We got a special treat for you this Sunday.
This Sunday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Love y'all. Have a great day. If you don't remember anything else, remember you are a product of God's grace and mercy. When you see yourself through God's eyes and not people, stay blessed. Bye bye.